body styles. There would have been a touring body that fitted, a coupe, a roadster, and some of the other commercial vehicles, all fit on one chassis, which saved them a tremendous amount of money. The old story about Henry paint, you could have any color of paint that you wanted as long as it was black. There is some truth to that, simply because there's a couple of theories. Some of them are true, some of them not. The black did dry quicker. They were producing these vehicles so quickly that they needed a fast-drying paint. Another theory, which is probably more relevant, is the fact that the black paint is actually the cheapest paint to buy because it has the least amount of pigment in it. And it also simplified production. If you're only making one color, that makes them go out the door a lot faster. In their heyday, once they got the assembly line up and running, and really at its peak efficiency, they were running 3 8-hour shifts a day, 6.5, 7 days a week. They were producing 9,000 vehicles per day. An incredible amount of cars. 45,000 vehicles rolled out of the factory per week. In 1922, at their maximum production, they produced 2.2 million vehicles over here on the Highland Road plant and later River Rouge. So incredible numbers. It's staggering to know that in the early 1920s, the Ford Motor Company had a 55% market share of all the automobiles in the world. There was hundreds of other manufacturers, but he was number one by miles and miles and miles. Simply because he did one thing well. He made one vehicle, one color, with a number of different body styles, all on the same chassis. Reduced in terms of production tremendously. So much so that when the first touring car rolled off the assembly, or hand assembled in 1908, it went for the sum of $850, which was at the time somewhat of a medium-priced car. The peak production in the early 20s, when he was producing so many of them so quickly, he could reduce the cost to $220 per vehicle. A touring car sold for $220 in about 1921 or 22. This was a 75% reduction in the cost of the vehicle, simply because he stuck to a number of very simple principles. Keep it simple, keep it affordable, pay his help. As you know, he introduced the $5 a day about 1913, and what that did is basically double or triple the wages those employees were making at the time. People literally left their homes in the deep south to move to Detroit to take a job at this plant. He employed thousands of people. Every one of those employees was allowed to buy a vehicle. The other interesting fact from the time was the fact that absolutely every one of these vehicles was not bought on credit. Mr. Ford himself did not believe in giving credit to anyone. If you could not afford the car, you weren't allowed to buy it. If you only had a partial payment, you could go to the dealership, put a down payment on it, and keep paying. When the car was paid full, you got the vehicle. He firmly believed that if you gave people too much credit, they got in trouble. We all know that works today. So we're just about ready. A little bit of St. Clair going, Lake St. Clair going in the red there. As I said a minute ago, a car was rolling off the assembly line every 30 to 45 seconds, so they were made very, very quickly.